Now our final speaker is Rowena, and she's the chairperson of the Children's and Legal Rights Development Center in the Philippines, and she'll be talking about reproductive rights, especially in the context of social and economic human rights. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Like Anthony said, my organization is Children's Legal Rights and Development Center. We basically focus on providing legal and psychosocial intervention to children who are sexually abused, as well as to children who are in conflict with the law. And we are also engaged in law reform advocacy and documentation and monitoring of children who are sexually abused. Well, the Philippines, for just a very, very brief information to all of you, this is a sovereign state in Asia with a total of 7,107 islands, but with a huge population of currently 99,231,982, according to the Philippines National Statistics Office. Yes. Now, putting reproductive health rights in the context, putting the population in the context of reproductive health rights issues in the Philippines, I would like to refer to the definition of reproductive health rights and according to the International Conference on Population and Development in 1994 in Cairo, Egypt. It says there that the right, RH is the right to decide when and how to have children within the context of social, economic, political, and cultural conditions and orientation. It also says that reproductive health right is the right to have control over and decide freely and responsibly on matters related to their sexuality, free of discrimination, coercion, and violence. The Cairo Conference also added that the definition of reproductive health refers to the well-being, the physical, mental, and social aspect in relation to the reproductive health system and its processes. Now, so that means, according to the other international human rights instruments, violation of sexual reproductive health rights is a violation of human rights. Okay. What are the human rights involved then? The human rights issues involved in the exercise of reproductive health rights. The right to health care, including reproductive health care and family planning, the rights and access to information, the right to privacy, the right to freedom of speech, self-determination, equality before the law, and of course, violence against women. In the Philippine context, by looking at the human rights lens, reproductive health rights issues there currently are the access to reproductive health care, the lack of access, the child mortality, contraception, poor education, unsafe abortion, and as I've said, violence against women is too general, and also the issue on HIV/AIDS. As far as girl children access to reproductive health rights is concerned, by definition of girl in the Philippines, we mean to refer to the definition set by the Convention on the Rights of the Child, 18 below. That's also in the Family Code of the Philippines, and in our Civil Code, our definition of child is 18 below. So access to reproductive health rights in the Philippines has become an issue when most of the rights that are set by the human rights standards in the exercise of it are violated. For example, the maternal death rate that involves in the exercise or violation of these rights is, according to the documentation of the Department of Health, is 200 for 100,000 deaths, and there's 5.6% of pregnant women that do not have prenatal care. And also, there were deaths related to pregnancy due to abortion, and over 1,000 women have illegal and unsafe abortions. So these abortions were sometimes the pregnancy were the result of the rape, no? In some instances. As regards child mortality, the infant mortality rate per 1,000 live births is 29 according to the National Statistics Office. And there are estimates induced abortions among adolescents or the girl children, which reach 319,000 in year 2000, could have approximate to 400,000 by 2015. As regards the issue of contraception, the access to modern contraception in the Philippines were banned in some cities. For example, you cannot just buy any contraceptive or even some condom, things like that. It's banned in other cities in the Philippines. Access to education and information due to misconception about reproductive health rights, premarital sex rose to 20% in 2012 from 20% in 2000, and 51% of pregnant women were not informed about the danger signs of pregnancy. So 1 in every 6 adolescent pregnancies end up in illegal abortion because of lack of awareness on reproductive health rights. As regards HIV and STD, this is prevalent among 15 to 24 years old. And the latest HIV registry in 2012 shows a total of 4,000, or almost 5,000. So the ages are from 18 to 29, and the youngest, as of the current statistic, is 15. So young women are vulnerable to HIV because of uninformed, or they were not informed properly of, or there were misconceptions on reproductive health rights. Also, the issue of violence against women, rape is still rampant despite the enactment of Anti-Rape Law of 1997, and also other trafficking issues and violence against women-related issues. As regards unsafe abortion, there were the abortion is between the ages of 15 to 44. These are the women who frequently have abortion. So the ratio was 18 induced abortion per 100 pregnancies. And complications associated with unsafe abortion were the third leading cause of hospital admissions. So what are the challenges in elevating girl-children issues to human rights in the context of reproductive health rights? Okay, these are the challenges: the lack of knowledge and information on RH rights as a human rights issue. Now, others don't see it in that context. The lack of access to affordable and quality healthcare services, the political positions of political leaders in the country hampers the implementation of RH law. And it is not reproductive health rights is not seen as a core issue, much less as the commonly understood statement of women's human rights issue. So how are human rights of women protected, promoted, defended, and fulfilled? Our rights are all based on the international documents, constitution, jurisprudence, statutes. I'm talking about the Philippine context. So these are where we base our laws. No? So the Philippine legal system is not indigenous. No, it's borrowed from U.S., Spain, because we were colonized by Spain for 333 years. And our criminal and civil criminal code is so punitive and regulatory, preventive, and also now rehabilitative in nature. So gender equality in the Philippine legal system, are there gender equality in the legal system in the Philippines? Well, according to one famous leader, Mao Zedong, half of the sky is held by women. But is it true? Violence against women cuts across class and culture. We all know that. And in the Philippine context, our legal system, we women are treated as the other. Not that the other women that I'm referring to, but the othering processes of women. Women's issues are considered other issues now, the miscellaneous. The construction and definition of legal rules are according to the generic male standard. Women being considered as a deviation from the norm, the construction of women and their sexuality from the male point of view, because at that time, most of our lawmakers were men. So the trivialization in law of women's concerns, issues, and activities, this is not only evident and clearly defined in laws, but in the other institutions of societies as well. No, like the school, no, even perhaps in religion. So here are some examples of our double standard laws. The higher penalty for penis to vagina rape, the definition of, in our transportation law, of the diligence in driving like a good father of the family, and the adultery penalty versus the concubinage penalty. Adultery is higher, which is committed by women. Concubinage, no imprisonment involved, only desterro. So that's the difference between the law. The family code, the supremacy of the father's rule, because the family code always provides that it should be the husband's decision that should prevail in whatever matters relating to property disposition. Women as chattels, good woman and bad woman prototypes. And the trivial of all in the law is on the laws on support, violence against women, sexual harassment, prostitution, and trafficking. So an example of jurisprudence also, it says in one case that a rape victim's failure to escape from or plead with her rapist could only mean that she gave her full consent and that she prostituted herself. That's one jurisprudence by our Supreme Court, the Honorable Court. Yeah, I don't know what perspective are they bringing. So filling in the gaps, how we elevate girl children rights to human rights. No? As an organization that monitors and documents, we ensure that our government continue to respect, protect, ensure, and promote human rights, no? Because all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So here are some Philippine commitments. No? We have so many laws that protect women and children, but the latest one, we have the Reproductive Health Law enacted in 2013 but suspended by the Supreme Court, the implementation of it, because of the continuing debate between religion, groups, and the conservative views. So there are still way ahead. There's still no law that defines discrimination, encompassing both direct and indirect in national legislation. And we have no legal framework pertaining to gender equality and women's human rights. And we don't have also institutional authority to effectively support gender mainstreaming in all sectors. So walking the talk, we should, walk the talk when we are human rights practitioners. Intensify awareness, raising, and public education campaign in view of eliminating stereotypes. We should also review macroeconomic. These are the recommendations that we think we should do in terms of putting forward or advancing forward or elevating to the mainstream the human rights advocacy of girl children. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rowena.